Squeal, and today we are going to play the sequel of a popular game of the first IP, Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. This is the second game of the series. Before we go to work, we are going to play a game that's pretty much similar. Now this is the most easiest game besides the first one. Out of fact, it's actually way more easier to get the gems, and it's not a two-dimensional platform, it's actually three-dimensional platform, so it gives it more variety. So the story sets up after the first game, and Cortex and Neo Cortex falls to his demise, and he finds out another cavern. I have to admit the cutscenes are kind of impressive for this time.
Crystals, of course. No.
One year though. I wouldn't understand how.
But Dr. Cortex, to reach full power, we need not only the Master Crystal, but also the remaining 25 slave crystals from the surface. How do you expect to retrieve them when we don't have any Earthbound operatives left?
You fool! You think I'm unaware of the situation? If we don't have any friends left on the surface, then we'll need to find an enemy.
I mean, the first second is so suspended.
Crash! Dad! My battery is fried. Make yourself useful, big brother.
Now, I'm assuming that Now, what makes this approve about the secret is that it has way Now this has a way better jumping mechanic than the first entry, and it gives you the opportunity to try and jump at the same time as long as you time extremely well. That's why we really enjoy about this game is that they actually did approve it from the first installment. That's why the effects are kind of decent for this time. Now they didn't really change the parts made use so far. I was hoping they actually could change it to the futuristic tone, but they used to keep it to the same menu. Kind of disappointing. They actually did approve it, but it's only a difficult part.
Well. If it isn't Crash Bandicoot, welcome. I apologize for the crude means used to bring you here, but I'd rather expect a written invitation would have been turned down. I need your help. Surrounding you are a series of 5 doors. Through each door lies a well-hidden crystal. The crystals look like this. Bring me the crystals, Crash. That is all I will say for now. We will speak again.
Actually, I'm curious. Now, when I first played this game on the PS1, I did. Now, if you quit and go back, you would get a second message so far. Now, apparently, I did play this game the first time when I actually did. And I have to admit, this is the most easiest game besides the first. I think the problem with the first is that there was only the jump and the spin attack. I guess it was because of the limitations, but I digress.
I said bring me the crystals. Now, get back in there.
Now, you have to be kind to the boxes on a special gem, but I'm not even sure. Now, this is the same remake as the first original game, so I'm going to assume it's going to be the same thing. Now, one thing I don't really enjoy is the loading times. Compared to the original PS1, gameplay iteration, the loading times were actually way faster compared to this, but I'm assuming they were actually more longer because of government limitations. I usually hope you get an achievement for doing this.
No, Crash. To save the world, I need crystals. Crystals! One more time. They look like this. Crystals, Crash. Go back through one of those doors and bring me crystals.
Well, we better do that. It's actually kind of hilarious. You can see new voice acting to these characters. As a matter of fact, I'm going to assume that you're gonna play through. Yeah. Let's see if it gives us a outer message so far. Now, it may be tedious to actually look for the loading times, but I could use the fight for it.
Look up at the doorway. There is a big crystal-shaped slot. Fill all 5 crystal slots in this warp room by retrieving 1 crystal from each of the 5 areas. Only after we have filled all of the slots in this room can we continue on our quest. This is the last time I remind you.
I never understand why do we design. I used to give it they should have given us options to go with party guns. I actually wanted to play the original emulator. I mean, for a remake, I usually hope they actually Let's see if they actually give a second message. That was a young way to get the achievements, but it was worth it. So, a quick story about this. I actually did play the sequel for this. Now, I never actually play the original PS1 of the first game, but I managed to play the second one. Although at the ages of 10, I never actually beat it. I never actually beat the game so far, but I also did beat it when earlier the year. And because of this, I managed to on the achievement. Now, when it comes to crystal gems, I had to walk through the IGN. I had to assume that this was a game back when PlayStation Underground was irrelevant to the day. It's not as if I had to expect this, but I usually play this game a lot. I usually play a lot of platformers in my time. And because of this, I usually have a lot of accommodations with vintage gaming so far. Ever since I got the PS2, I think maybe in mid-2008, around the time the Shrek movies were relevant. It seems we'll take a U-turn. Now, apparently they managed to fix some of the. I guess one of these people was smart enough that they knew people are gonna skip for it. So I gave him credits for that. And the funny part is that when I first played this game, I technically remember only this copy. It was actually my uncle's copy when he was usually played in his younger days. And to see if we reimagine makes me usually proud. Now, what makes this different in the remake is that it was originally you had to hit the box 10 times in order to actually get the food. But now it's actually 10 times different because this is usually 10 times different than the original remake. I may somewhat die on purpose because even though it's actually way easy. I made that on purpose by mistake, but usually I actually want to get 100% in this game because even though it's actually way easy to get a 100% compared to the first adaptation. My only problem is that I think that's what I did wrong so far. That was a mistake I actually did so far, is that I didn't really... It's been a long time since I actually played the sequel, especially in high definition. But you never actually know. It's one of those childhood games that you usually go upon way back in the day. And it is one of those games I actually take a huge enjoyment. I mean, say you want upon nostalgia, but this is one of those games I actually find that fun. I might do a time trial on this one to see if it's actually better executed. I don't really die as...
talking to?
That's to the game. I just making some commentary. I'll just put it. Either way, I just make it such... It is usually good. My only guess so far is that I guess they changed the jump. In technicality, you don't have to. I mean, in actuality, you don't have to. I mean, as I said, I don't really drive to a 100% with this game. I got a clear jam, but I'm assuming you be kind to the boxes. I don't know how you're supposed to do that, but
Well done, Crash. I knew I could rely on you. Now listen carefully. These holograms are hard to maintain. During the course of my intellectual pursuits, I have stumbled across a force that threatens to destroy the world. The crystals are the only means of containing it. The fate of the world is at stake. It is imperative, therefore, that you bring them to me.
Are you there, Crash? Crash! Crash! Are you there, Crash? Are you there, Crash?
how to get IGN to see how. Finish total rules to. So for the boot jump, we can't even break any boxes. Well, that's embarrassing. So we have to be kind to the boxes, but not breaking any boxes. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it 100% about this game because I used to do it multiple times in my original installment. I was planning to record some gameplay photos of the original PS1 graphics edition of the original game. But I mean, I couldn't because I need a capture card to do it for the PS3, and it took some time to actually get a renewal. So I don't. So I can't use to get here. It's actually occupied. So we can't break these boxes. So we have to be careful not to break them. But the good part is that we have an OQ Max to actually. We broke a box. Oh, that's how you actually jump over? I mean, I wouldn't mind restarting if it wasn't for the fact that the other times was so difficult to maneuver, but I mean, I wouldn't mind getting a few extra lives. I guess replaying the stage actually gives a better maneuver to actually get it. I mean, this game was made by Vicarious Visions.
So, you are helping Cortex gather crystals. Yet, you have acquired a gem. Interesting. Well, Crash, know this. As long as you are allied with Cortex, you are my sworn enemy, and I will do anything in my power to stop you. If the fate of the world is truly your concern, you must gather the gems, not the crystals. If you obtain all 42 gems, I can use them to focus a laser. Yes, a laser beam that will destroy Cortex and the space station he has created. Until then, I must use my forces to stop you from gathering crystals.
I mean, it's been a long time since I actually did play the... I didn't know you had to slide then jump. I mean, it's been a long time since I actually did play the original sequel on HD high definition. If I want to do a speed one on this, I could, but that's not really my interest. It's one of those games you have to maneuver without, because you will waste credit a lot if you hit one of the boxes. So maybe we could actually get 100% out this game if I actually wanted to, but it's gonna take another consideration. I think I might have to skip parts. I might have to cut some of the boss battles later because I don't actually want to just play a huge long playthrough. It's gotta be another video. I actually want to 100%. Now it's important for me to save, even though I'm kinda decent at this game since childhood. The anti-Trinity has tendencies to kick me out or have errors. I'm not sure about you, but the game seems to have the tendencies to freeze up and have tendencies to do that it has tendencies to kick me out of the game and start working. I don't know if they might fix it in the next update database patch, but I digress. I know Activision and the history of half-ass games, they usually have no maneuver. And I have to restart. The only best bet is to actually get a perfect speed one. That's what that was never what I expected, but oh boy, well, he's actually make the best time. I want you guys to actually compare my time. I may get a gold compared about it, but notifications bitches used to have tendencies with time trials being so difficult. This is the first that actually did it before. It's actually one of the things that actually implemented in the original Game Boy and fast versions of the user fencer. And I'm here to get a huge 1% trophy about it. I'm just here to actually beat the game with all the treasures. So initially what they said about Snow Go. So the only way so we can't get the gem as we actually go to. Now I mention it. Sometimes I did play a demo that was actually find the city of It's been a long time since I actually did play Snow Go. It was one of those levels that I actually did enjoy. I was using introduction. I'm making some huge great progress compared to the original. As you might know, I'm not a huge fan of IC levels because the levels tend to actually add obstacles that make it more difficult. I'm sorry of the export because I actually did play the original game. It might take some time because of the jump mechanics. Oh, these IC levels are one of the reasons why I don't actually. I mean, I used to. I don't understand how I missed so far, but I guess that. I mean, it's what you guys wanted. You wanted me. You wanted. I don't get how that's reasonable, but you guys wanted me to waste crit. Where that's gotta be a not never. Me. I played the sequel multiple times in my lifetime. I mean, this is a decent game, but I don't really get the jump. I'm assuming you have to get the rest of the boxes based on a secret path that did a thing. I expect that's what you have to do to get yourself occupied with the gems, but I mean, I'm not trying to get a huge 1%, but there are some red gems you actually have to get to maneuver. Now I have to constantly save, even though it does autosave. I can't usually take a risk about it because sometimes the game could usually corrupt it. I have some eyes for now. But I mean, this is one of those rare executed games I had to get so far. Oh, right. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but... I'm trying my best not to die multiple times. Oh boy. I actually did tend to screw it up for a bit. Oh. I mean, I managed to do the boys run so easily without dying myself over. So there's a way. Oh, I remember this, historically. Oh, this is one of the efforts I can't really maneuver. It's gonna take some time to actually give me some new folk because do you have any idea how long this really took me? It takes a lot of patience to actually become a huge grandmaster with this. It's a pain in the ass, but it has its works. You could get lives more easily. I don't know what points does I have, but so even if the child was punched, you can't always be too careful. And I'm seeing actual mentions that I played this game way before, so I actually know well. The only thing I do suck is finding the secrets. I had to look at IGN and Game Informer to actually find out clues. And surprisingly, I have to use a primo guide of story mode for Splatoon 2. Now, for the auto jump, you have to speed one.
Crystals. Not bad.
Also, I have to comment about the redesign as I said.
I need to conserve power. I will communicate with you again after you retrieve the 5th crystal.
I'm making some huge progress so far. I have 13 lives, and if I usually die, I can use the load. Now, if I just want to get the auto gem, I have to speed through this game really fast. And once you get a certain path, you have to hard out to the next point. If you don't really get the gem. Surprisingly, they don't give you a chance to restart the level if you screw up, so you have to start over again. I guess I can return on that though. I don't usually have a lot of time on my hands. I might end the first part at 6 o'clock or 6:30. Usually depends. I mean, this one only has a crystal and a gem. I could usually keep myself occupied, so now I do remember this part where you have to backtrack, because one of the ways you could get at 1% if you really actually want the gem is if you have to backtrack, and there's usually two paths. Not many people knew about it, but it will usually require you to usually have patience and know where you're going. I usually play this game on the PS1 when it was actually fully announced. I mean, still, I wouldn't know about the details. One reason is that they usually allow you to. Now I can usually backtrack without actually repeat the beginning. You have no idea where you're supposed to go when you backtrack out. I think in the original, in the first game, there was enough chase levels to even made it. I wanted to say that when I actually tried the 1%. I usually my concern is to break every single crate of the entire game. And it's only a game you could get 199 lives in total. So if you really want to use this video as reference, you could. I didn't even know the bonus could be so difficult. That was pretty much simple for my part. Now, I say this game is somewhat difficult, but not that extremely difficult. I mean, the last time I actually did play the original, it was never that difficult for this point. I remember when I actually did play the original IP on the PS1, it was never that difficult. I remember correctly that I don't remember the enemies from the pit being so difficult, because when I played the pit back when before this game play, I don't remember them being so difficult to the point where you could never actually finish the level. Maybe it was actually a graphical update to the gameplay mechanics, but I will probably say I digress about it. I mean, if you get all 53 gems already, you could usually beat this game in quick maneuver. And I want to say that I praised some aspects of this game when I think this was doing back to my elementary school years. I would say this game is somewhat difficult. It is one of those games that I haven't maneuvered so far. The boss battles, I will probably say, maybe I got videos to start with. Now I actually want to save that's the case because the game could be usually difficult if you don't. I know it's actually a remake, but you might have 70 lives and you have to occupy it. You tickety want to make the mess. Well, I know the hints really are self-explanatory. They usually are missing the ideas to the point, but they usually try to from the get-go. I usually want to use the analog sticks to better myself with maneuver. Because it's way more simple to actually use the D-pad, because it doesn't really use anything to make the levels more simple. I remember back in my day, this was the only ever I had some difficulty having because I know I was actually on before. Now, this may be time consuming. And I still got it to this day. Andy even died on the bonus level. That's usually a huge achievement. That was a huge mistake on my part. I don't understand how I master Frost so easily, but it might be a control error, but I guess I had no choice but to use the D-pad because I never have this problem with the joystick, but the joystick seems to be the most functional part of the chase level. We made some progress over this gameplay stuff so far. We managed to get a crystal and a gem at the same time on this one playthrough. I'm not going to try the time trials most of this one. Now, apparently, I don't really remember in the original where you take it going in the portal. You typically does go up and you expect the boss fight, but I guess that might be a huge maneuver in the park. I'm not sure. Now we're up to the boss battle on the first video that we managed to progress so far. Now, one thing I should know about it is that this is one of those easiest boss fights I usually play so far. It's simple. It's simple because really his patterns are not that difficult to predict. You can usually just recognize his patterns and memorize it. And a lot of you usually break this correction on YouTube. You can notice that these patterns are usually the same as the original. I would say this is the most difficult boss fight because I'm assuming that in the first adaptation it was more difficult with the boss battles. You died multiple times, but in the sequel, the second installment, it's actually the boss battles are actually more simplistic because I'm assuming that the owner of Greco was gaining a hold of this copy way before this, and I guess a lot of middle schoolers way back then. I enjoyed this adaptation the most. Again, this is not something that's difficult. It's actually the most easiest boss fight I actually played. These fights are actually quite simple to understand the ease. I wouldn't say these are actually difficult to maneuver, but I have to usually pause myself because I never actually knew that this boss was actually the same. I must always managed to replicate the original encoding to the PS4. You know, it's quite annoying when you have to restart the whole process over again, even though his patterns are so simple to predict. Well, this is not one of them. I want to say that it's been a long time since I actually did play this type of adaptation. Because I would digress, it's one of those games where you have to have pages in order to win. I will say that this takes me back to the good ages when when gaming used to be better in the 90s and 80s. It's a shame really that there used to be some decent games in the PS1 era, but there's worse games in the PS4 era now. I'm not saying this based on speculation, I'm saying it's because of pure honesty. I haven't even seen a decent PS4 game in a long time. Sure, there's some AAA titles that are really superior. But I don't really see a difference what I see so far. So we already did beat the boss battle.
I see that Ripperoo failed to prove much of a challenge yet again. But back to business. There are crystals to be gathered, 20 to be exact. The planets will align shortly, all 13 of them, and this will create a power great enough to rip the Earth apart. Properly utilized, however, the crystals can absorb and contain the energy.
Crash, is that you? I've been looking everywhere. I don't have much time to tell you this. You have to be careful. Trusting Cortex seems a little unwise, Crash. I can't keep the data path open much longer. Crash, you need to go.
You'd be surprised how many times I have to renew this game. I actually never want to play with Coco because to me Coco is not that much of an interesting character. It doesn't really make the game more simple. I mean, if you actually want to play as Coco, that's fine, but she doesn't really have that much of a character trait. Really, I mean, I almost tend to play with Crash instead because Coco doesn't really have much of gameplay differences. She doesn't really have a much of effect, but you have to assume that there has to be a better way. The game could be better if it was if it was two-player co-op. It would actually be interesting. I remember the day when on the server you had to break all 125 boxes, so I'm assuming there was a secret path you had to redo for. It does the thing I always say about it. Oh boy. So you have to slide and jump in order to make that no jump. Yeah, I mean, even though it might be a remaster, you have to time your jumps to probably. And sometimes the problem with the ice and the platforms is that it will sort out the movement as you slide. I mean, for some extent, they actually brought back the woody stones from the first original game. I think they really commented on about it. I'm assuming you have to take a hidden path to actually get all the gems. That's what I usually figure out. I missed a couple of boxes, but I don't even know where they're at. I'm assuming you have to get all the boxes from the maneuver. Either way, it will take a long process to do that. I wouldn't mind doing it once myself this game, so on. I might have to skip some of the gameplay footages, so on. Some of these levels are actually quite simple. In the original game, I think in the first installment, it was actually more difficult, but in the second installment, it's actually way more simple. I think this is actually the most simplistic game of all times. I guess you have to... turn down the difficulty because the demographic didn't really understand the most. I mean, I usually want to occupy all the hidden boxes that you can find. I guess you're not supposed to go in the opposite direction. I can use the analog stick when it comes to chase levels, but when it comes to platformers, I don't really think it's actually occupied the most. The music in the entire trilogy seems to be more occupied. I will give him credit for actually making the soundtrack more alive and more decent. They actually did put a lot of effort into the soundtrack, and I can usually appreciate it. I wouldn't say how I missed the box, but I'm not sure how I missed the box, but I don't really remember that. That might end it for part 1 of this video. Probably if I have the free time, I might make a part 2 of this when I have the time. So I'm going to play some Server 1. Had to take off the trash by 6, and it was actually nice to play some of the aspects of this game. So I'm going to continue this series. Probably might use prayers. And for once, I managed to get 30 lives compared to original. So I keep yourself occupied, Yato, and stay tuned for part 2. Maybe tomorrow or Saturday. Peace.